Welcome learners to the presentation and discussion of Unit 24 of Module 12 of your MOOC on School Management and Leadership. This Unit 24 is all about an introduction to innovations in schools. We shall discuss mostly about the innovations. We have spelled out a number of learning objectives. We shall try to understand the meaning of innovation. Then we shall take up the aspect of distinction between creativity and innovation. Then we shall try to have an understanding of different types of innovation. Then we shall discuss the role of innovation in education, in education system, school development and teaching. Then towards the end of the unit, we shall take up the discussion on identification of certain qualities and skills required of an innovative teacher. So with these few objectives, let us start the unit. Dear friends, we all know about our past president APJ Abdul Kalam. Once he stated that education is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. President Kalam is remembered not as a president. He is also remembered as a good human being, as a teacher. He used to teach in IIM Shillong, and at the time of his death also, he was teaching at IIM Shillong. He could achieve his due as a teacher as well, not only just as the president of India. So as good teachers, we need to be institution builders. The qualities of institution builders are reflected in the academic and administrative activities. Someone is very good in academic activities, not good in administrative activities, the institution will not flourish. As leader manager of our schools, we need to have expertise over administrative as well as academic matters. So as institution builders, we need to be mission oriented. We all should always try to do something new and different from others. So trying to do something new and different from others, that is innovation. This is done for what? This is done for the betterment of the students and society. By focusing on their needs, how can we satisfy their needs? How can we better meet their needs? So what new measures may be taken? What new ways of doing the things can be found? That is basically innovation. In our government schools, we find there is a decline in enrollment, and that has been a major societal concern. We need to give a relook at the lacuna, why this is happening. So innovation in education can be thought of as a solution. In your next unit, that is on Unit 25, there will be a number of case studies which will be presented, and all these case studies more or less address the decline in enrollment in government schools and how that can be turned around. Innovation is the solution. So we should not be afraid of trying out new things. Innovation is allowing imagination to flourish and not being afraid to try new things. Because of lack of innovative mindset, many teachers, institutional leaders deprive themselves from great accomplishments. If we do not deprive ourselves from taking innovative measures, who knows? In our schools also we could have made wonders. So in this unit we shall discuss various aspects of dealing with innovation schools. We need to be clear about some definitional and conceptual aspects of innovation. So this unit will address that aspect as well. So what is the meaning of innovation? The word innovate comes from the Latin word innovare, which means to renew, to make new. So renewing, making something new, that is the meaning of the word innovare, and that is the origin word of innovation. So this indicates that innovation can be a renovation of a theme or a variation of an idea. So that's why for innovation, the critical component is ideation, having ideas of making things happen, new ideas of doing things. This ideation aspect, it implies investment of time and effort. Otherwise, the new ideas, great ideas will not come. So in order to make these great ideas, to evolve best practices, we need to make investment of our time and effort. So it is grounded on data-based implementation to establish credibility. Without data, without information, we cannot make these things happen. Ultimately, an innovation reflects the metamorphosis. It complete change from the present practice to some better practice. With the present practice, we are not satisfied. We want to do something new. Something new has been done that has resulted as a better practice, means innovation has been effective. So dear learners, here we come across a concept that how can we distinguish between creativity and innovation. A painter paints, that is creativity. An artist designs something, that is creativity. But in your workplace, there also we need some kind of creativity. So that kind of professional painting, that kind of professional artistic work, that is something else. That cannot be separated from those persons. A painter, a singer, a music creator, a composer, they are at their own places. But in our schools, we need some creative solutions to our problems. And if we can find out those creative solutions, means innovation is possible. So that's why creativity and innovation are two related but separate notions. Both are required at workplace. Without creativity, we cannot think of innovation. Innovation is applied creativity. Creativity is a necessary prerequisite, it is necessary precondition for innovation. Innovation is basically an outcome of a process. First, creativity will get the idea, that ideation. Then we shall try to actualize the idea through process, that is innovation. In order to prevent the problems of dropout in schools, making use of call center kind of arrangements. We do not have a professional call center that making high use of information technology. What we are trying to say, that call center is a very high sounding word, but in our schools also, for the dropouts, can we think of a call center kind of arrangement? Suppose after every class, we find out the list of students who are absent. Then we make a call to the students or to their parents that so and so is absent or you were absent, why it was so. So that will give an understanding of their problems. And then we can make an introspection. That is something, a kind of innovation. So making use of call center kind of arrangements is a creative idea. Successfully running the call center and reducing the dropout rate is the innovation. So both exist side by side. So both creativity and innovation contribute to prevent stagnation and imbibe dynamism at the workplaces. Understanding both of them as two sides of the same coin is critical for any organization, including a school. Dear friends, dear learners, in your learning material, you will find some examples of our old story that a thirsty crow wants to have water, but in a pitcher, some water is there, but at the bottom. Now how to drink? It's not reachable. So the crow thinking of pebbles, using the pebbles and putting it in the pitcher. Then ultimately the water level will come up and the crow will be able to reduce the thirst. So that is the kind of thinking about the pebbles is the creative solution. Making it happen is the innovation. That's how you'll find many examples of creativity and innovation taking place side by side. So what are the different types of innovations? As we have discussed, innovation is the process of taking something that already exists, but how to make it better with creative solutions. It could be a product, it could be a service, or it could be a process. In your schools, curriculum, the books, those are the products. Service, how you teach, that is service. Process, the taking the roll call, attendance register, making the attendance records, these are process. So we can have innovations in the books, in the curriculum, the way we teach, or the way we manage the record keeping, all this. It can be as simple as making a small change in our schools. Suppose we will be celebrating the birthdays of our students in our schools, and we will request all our parents to donate bath soap on the birthdays of their siblings. And we shall use those bath soaps to promote hand washing. Small thing, but this is an example of innovation. So we can make small change in our schools, or it could be as complex, completely overhauling entire school system. So that will require macro system. Now that NEP 2020, that is a macro level initiative that advocates a number of innovations. So innovation can be different forms and outcomes. When we talk about innovation, most people think of new products, drastically new products. That is wrong. It can be very small things also, provided it helps in doing the things better. So it could be a wide array of different innovation outcomes possible in our school systems. So theoretically, we need to be aware about the kinds of innovations. One could be product innovation. Say product innovation, some examples in your respective institutions, in your schools could be that administering field-based projects. Suppose we are sending our students to, say, Livestock Research Institute. They will visit the institute, they will have an understanding about the functioning of the institution, then they will come and submit a report, and that report will be evaluated. That's not just sending the students for a routine visit. Making advantage of that visit ultimately to benefit the students. Giving some constructive remarks on the report. All these are product innovation. Or could be the smart watch is a product innovation. Many of the innovations we find in our mobile handsets. New things. The handset remains the same, but new features, new additions. These are all innovations. Technology innovation, the best example is the internet, which was itself an innovation, and that leads to lots of other innovations, is not it, in various fields. Model innovation, the blended learning. During COVID-19 we have learned about it. Blended learning is an example of innovation that creates a whole new type of education. Organizational innovation, creating and sustaining a group of like-minded innovative teachers. You yourself can form a group among the like-minded innovation teachers, or in your schools you can activate the mother's groups. We find a number of case examples in which the mother's groups of the schools have made some meaningful impact. Or it could be process innovation, regularly conducting school management committee meetings of the school with detailed agenda note, action taken, review and contemplated actions, and ensuring regular attendance of the members. This is process. So if it is not taken up seriously, ultimately the governance will suffer. So dear friends, it could be we can think about the various kinds of innovations. Some of those innovations might require some macro level interventions, but some of the innovations we can take up ourselves. Incremental innovation, the goal is to improve on an existing offering by adding new features, changes in the design, etc. As I have told you, the best example for incremental innovation can be seen in the smartphone market. It could be architectural innovation. Google took their domain expertise, technology and skills and applied them to a different market. Disruptive innovation. Amazon used internet technologies to disrupt the existing industry for bookshops. By changing the books were sold and delivered. All of us nowadays use the e-retailing options. That is what disruptive innovation. There was a great deal of discussion taking place between whether our Kirana stores would be able to function. As we have seen, both of them have adjusted to the innovation and both of them are coexisting. But it created the disruption. Or it could be radical innovation. Invention of the airplane opened up a new form of travel industry, is not it? So these are different types of innovations. Means initially it would start with a creative solution, then it will be actualized, it will be implemented, and ultimately people will start accepting it. As more and more people accept it, the spread of innovation becomes wider and wider. Now in our education system, what could be the role of innovation? Getting all children in school and imparting effective learning to all of them, it requires strong innovative systems. No two students are same, no two teachers are same, but we need to standardize the practices. And while doing so, we come across with a number of problems. A plethora of ills in teaching, problems in infrastructure, not sufficient infrastructure, academic environment is not congenial. We find lots of excuses, we find lots of constraints, lots of problems, real problems also, not always excuses. And all these things raise serious long-term concerns about the overall educational system. But the problems have been arrested, efforts have been made. We can find examples of the public schools in Delhi. In Assam, the Assam Jatiya Vidyalaya, it has maintained a good record of quality teaching and also meeting the overall personality development needs of the students to make them competitive, to face the competitive exams. Not only academic aspects, the other aspects as well. So this requires strengthening of the education system. Technology also plays a great role. Technology-based learning activities can be an innovative way to make classes more interactive and effective. We can make use of different simulations, right? Make use of different games, use of smart classrooms that can augment teaching, but essence of teaching remains the same. Whether we are making use of technology or whether we are teaching under a tree, a teacher has to be a teacher. But the technology will augment, technology will spread the reach. In Sudan, solar-powered tablets have been used to deliver lessons on mathematics to children in remote areas. There are examples in Greece and Lebanon where digital learning platforms are used to teach refugees and other marginalized children in their native language of instruction. In COVID-19 period, during the pandemic, we used lots of digital technology, is not it? Let us discuss another case example. This is solar-powered floating schools in Bangladesh. It's called also boating school, boat school. And I have given the link of the case study from the UNICEF site. You can go through it yourself. Basically, this solar-powered floating school, it has a classroom on the boat, internet link computer, laptop, and other electronic resources. Students can learn how to use technology, watch educational shows, learn how to draw digital pictures, and they how to visit the educational websites. The project has ensured year-round schooling because during flood they are deprived of their regular education. But it ensures year-round schooling for children and it reduces the dropout rate. Girls and young women can take full advantage of education delivered right at their doorsteps through both schools. Solar lanterns provide families with high-quality light at night for children to study and women to stitch dress materials to earn extra income. Dear learners, as you may know, the Bangladesh is earning a lot of foreign revenue by exporting the dress materials. So they may be having the problems of electricity, but during this making use of these solar-powered floating schools or solar-powered boats, not only the students, their mothers, their fathers, they are also taking advantage of the school system. So you can find, it's a very interesting case study. You can find the details of the case study, right, visiting that particular link which I have given you in your learning material. So based on this kind of thing, you can think about an activity for yourself. That based on the learning from the both school case study of Bangladesh, think of a similar idea in the locality of your school. Find out what kind of information you will need to develop a plan for that innovation. This activity is about information seeking. Because for an innovation to take place, we need to have detailed information. For whom this innovation will be, how long that innovation would be, what would be the striking difference, how can I make this happen, what are the kind of data, what are the kind of information that I will need. So take this activity that will help you in finding out some creative solutions to the problems in your locality. So innovative ideas for school development, as I have been telling you and you have realized it, COVID-19 has taught us many lessons, you and me, every one of us, in terms of looking forward to innovative solutions. The schools have made use of digital technology to a great extent, but we all experience the problem of digital divide, is not it? Digital divide posed many challenges. Many of the students did not have the gadgets, many of the students did not have the data, is not it? And many of the families do not have, even though they might be having gadgets, many of the families do not have multiple gadgets. It all requires use of technology. But what's the way out? We'll have to go for innovation, is that it? Now in the new normal scenario also, we can make use of audiobooks, dictation software, grammar checker software, in addition to collaborative learning using social media platforms. Dear learners, there are participants who are not making enough use of these digital devices. It's high time that we learn about this and we impart the benefits to our students. In Japan, there is a concept called Kaizen. Kaizen means incremental, small steps, step-by-step improvement. This step-by-step improvement, Kaizen, it focuses on improving productivity and processes, eliminating waste, and achieving sustained continual growth of an organization. Step by step. It does not aim for drastic improvement. Drastic improvement may lead towards drastic fall also. So step by step, whatsoever we are doing, one step better, small step, that is Kaizen. In our school environment also, we may strive for the following. Taking example from Kaizen means small development. We need to be concerned about feedback from our stakeholders, employees and students to improve design and delivery of our services. Because our services are meant for them. We can actively encourage our employees and teachers to do something new and better with whatsoever resources we have. They normally would complain about lack of resources, but with limited resources also we can do many things. The case studies that we shall discuss in Unit 25 will help us in understanding that how can we make those kind of differences. Building a reward and incentive system for innovative thinking, that also helps creating an innovation culture, and that would help in getting it appreciated for better things done. So innovative teaching, we may even think of forming an innovation club in our schools. In our schools we are going to institutionalize an innovation club. We shall form an innovation club. The responsibilities of this innovation club would be to think something new, to find out some new ways of doing the existing things. So the basic objective could be to create awareness about innovation, doing something new, innovation culture, educate, nurture and inculcate a culture of innovation among students. To that extent, we need to focus on the following. First of all, a change in mindset, to take risks and to think positive. Many of the bottlenecks of innovation is it will not work. Why should we try? Problem is with mindset. A change in mindset to take risks and to think positive. That is a precondition. Building a flexible learning environment, going out of the way, flexibility. Teaching a problem identification and solution approach. The students have been facing a problem. Try to find out something new. Try to find out how it can be solved creatively without having much resources. That kind of culture we need to promote in our schools. Allowing students to take risks and fail. Failure will give them the new lessons. A culture of learning from mistakes. That's basically we need to strive for in our schools. So dear friends, all these things help us in identifying the requirements of innovations in our schools. But as a manager, as a leader of our schools, as the headmaster principal, we need to be aware about the qualities and skills of innovators. And we need to make an introspection. Do we possess this? These things are not very, out of average, above average kind of things. These are all average persons, average qualities. But we need to possess this. One research on innovators identified 5 discovery skills that distinguish innovators from typical functionaries. You could be a normal headmaster doing the routine things, or you could be a different headmaster. You could be a normal principal, you could be a normal leader, or you could be a different leader. So what will distinguish you from the normal one to a person who is noticeable or who is noticed? One is associating, means involving all concerned. In the case studies that we are going to discuss, you alone cannot make the difference. You need to make all involved in the process. From the school management committee, school inspector, district administration, to the students, to the villagers, to the community, everyone need to take each and everyone along. Second one is questioning. If something is given, you need to ask the right questions. Is it going to happen? Will it solve the problem? What will be the requirements? How can we make those things possible? Questioning the effectiveness of the existing practices in your school and looking for solutions. Always having a questioning mindset. How things can be done and how it can be made better. Observation, having experience, having exposure. And in addition to this, if we are going to do something, what is the progress? What is facilitating the progress? What is hindering the progress? That observation. Plus the networking, developing relationship with like-minded functionaries who want to make some meaningful changes. You can think about making a club of the innovative teachers in your locality. Nowadays, with the social media, with the functioning of the smartphones, it's so possible. Then experimenting mindset, a mindset of trying out something new and documenting the results and progress. If we are having this kind of skills, first of all, we need to go out of my own cell, reaching out. Everyone, I cannot do that things alone. I'll have to make each and everyone involved. That is associating. I need to have a questioning mindset. How can the things be made more better? Observation, then networking with like-minded people, and then always experimenting something new. Then we can make many things happen in our schools. So with this, let us try to sum up this particular unit of Unit 24 on innovations in schools. In this unit, we have learned that innovation is about successfully implementing a new idea. This is basically about ideation. And that ideation requires investment in time and effort. Then only the best ideas will come. Great ideas will come. And each of us is capable of having that kind of ideas, provided we nurture it. So it's about implementing a new idea and creating a value for the recipients of our services and stakeholders, parents, students, guardians, is that it? Society. It could be a plan for an improved product or service. It could be curriculum, it could be book, or it could be better teaching, or it could be an updated method of running day-to-day operations in terms of our administration, in terms of our record keeping, in terms of teaching a particular module, or it could be a new model of doing things. So whatsoever we do in our school, academic, administrative, it's basically we think we need new kind of ideas to solve our existing problems and which can be developed within ourselves. Now there are various types of innovations. Some of these require macro level interventions. We need to adopt measures to develop a culture within our schools that new ideas are appreciated. Then the innovation will spread, and when the new ideas are appreciated, we learn from the implementation of the ideas. We learn from the mistakes so that better implementation of creative ideas can take place. And ultimately, all these things will help us to improve the services in our schools. So we have learned various tips on developing an innovation culture in our schools. Now we need to have some kind of practical understanding of these initiatives. So to that extent, in Unit 25, we shall take up some case studies of our government schools in which the innovation culture is not existing to that extent. But however, provided the right type of initiatives we make, the innovation can take place and the schools can have a turnaround for better future. So friends, with this, we would like to conclude this particular unit. Thank you. Thank you very much.